All right, we are back. And we've got Zverev, the favorite to win the tournament. God, it still feels way too early to say that, but it's true. He's taking on the lucky loser De Jong. But it's going to be tough for Zverev to keep his concentration and to keep his hopes of winning a first Grand Slam alive. He's got to keep winning. He's got to keep winning. Keep on winning. Easier said than done. But let's see. Let's see if De Jong can do what so many have done this week and cause all of us to rethink if we actually know what we're talking about. By the way, we do have Hadar is up a break in the third. He's down 2 sets love, but he's up a break in the third. So we'll keep an eye on that. Andreeva's coming up later. Menchik versus Rublev's coming up later. So it's all happening. Of course, tonight we have the big one, Ruud versus Fonseca. But let's see. Let's see how this goes. The show goes on from start to finish, chat. From start to finish. We will keep you updated. Weirdest but most exciting slam in a long time. I know, right? So weird. So good. Weird is good. Weird is good. How do we want this match to... Who do we want to win this match? I want Zverev to win, because I want Zverev to win. We love the weirdness of it all. Exactly. Hadar coming back. Yeah, he's slowly getting there. Showdown between the Madrid and Rome champs. Yeah, we said that in the last stream. Yeah. I don't know how many times that's happened before. That the Madrid and Rome champions have played each other at Roland Garros. So it's going to be really interesting. All right, they're warming up. De Jong played as a qualifier. He then got a second chance because Feast withdrew. So he shouldn't even be here, but he is. 4th round of a slam, biggest payday of his life, biggest result of his life, biggest match of his life too. But he is playing Zverev, so maybe he will get a bigger match if he does what others have done. Yeah, even got a WTA night session. That's how how things have gone. 1 second, chap. All right. Makes every round really count, not only the final. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Once Djokovic lost, every match on the men's side feels like a final because... And every match, like the stakes have risen. So we said this the other day when Paul and Ruud played. And when Tommy Paul lost to Casper Ruud, it just felt devastating because it's like, oh no. Like everyone who loses now has just lost one of the biggest opportunities to win a slam we may ever get in the next 10 years, right? This is like... How long? It's been so long since there's been this opportunity for a new, totally out of the minds of everybody to start the tournament, kind of upset, kind of win, right? And we may never see this again. This may never, but this may never happen for a long time. Like this might be the only time this will happen for a while. Like Sinner, Wimbledon, he's back. When Alcaraz comes back, good luck getting a slam, right? I mean, you know. So like we are in very, very strange territory. And if every time somebody loses in this tournament, they have lost a massive opportunity to win a slam. And that goes from like a lucky loser to the world number 3, right? Like De Jong or Zverev, one of these guys is going to miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime. This is a golden ticket, right? Willy Wonka. Hey Cam, haven't been connected to your channel because last time you made me feel bad. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Hopefully, Pablo, you're feeling much better. All right. They're warming up their serves. And then Zverev will be back. Well, welcome back, Pablo. You are more than welcome to be here. What did you say that got you in trouble? What did you say? What did you do? Now I have to look. You didn't do anything. I don't know why you left. All right. They're all playing out of their minds, knowing the opportunity to... Oh, but that's the thing too, right? I mean, every person from 100 in the world to, 3 in the world, they're all trying... they can all win it. Like, everyone's got a chance. There's no... there is no... dream big. Who do you predict to make the final in the top half of the draw? FAA. I think FAA. I think it'll be an FAA Berrettini semi, and then FAA make the final. I don't know if Caboli could make the... or Caboli. Maybe Caboli. Caboli looked good yesterday. Not many people were talking about Caboli. FAA Caboli, whoever wins out of that match will make the final. Berrettini might be too tired. Like Caboli versus FAA, winner will make the final. All right. Here we go. De Jong has his leg taped. But a lot of tennis. Zverev is on the court as well. Oh, not yet. Actually, Zverev is sitting down. Zverev is just taking his time. He's like, this is my title. I'm just going to take my time. I'll win it eventually. All right, here we go. Who you got winning this one, chat? I'm going to go Zverev in 4. It should be Zverev in straights, but I just feel like he's not going to get to this title straightforward. I feel like this title is not going to be easy for Zverev, so I'm going to go 4 sets. Anyways, backhand slice Zverev in the net. It's 15-love. 15-love. All right, 15-love. There's a bit of let. Yeah, he does take the scenic route, exactly. As the return goes in, 15-love. Forehand rally. De Jong again to the forehand to Zverev. De Jong with a forehand again. Into the forehand to Zverev. De Jong up the line. Zverev's there with the backhand. De Jong slice. Zverev backhand again. De Jong gets it again with the backhand to the backhand. Zverev drop shot for Zverev is not very good. And De Jong puts a forehand up the line for a winner. 30-love. 30-love. Hadar, by the way, played a phenomenal third set just now. He crushed the third. That was a beatdown. All right, first serve's a fault from De Jong. Second serve. Trainer's out for PCB on a shoulder, I think. All right, 400 rallies. Zverev wins the point. De Jong hits it long, 30-15. Now, Carreño Busta's got a pointing at his shoulder. All right. De Jong with a fault, second serve. Return goes in the back end of De Jong, and he hits a drop shot winner. All right, 40-15. There's a bit of fault, second serve. As the return goes the backhand of Zverev. Slice now from De Jong. And Zverev again to the backhand of De Jong. And then Zverev over hits the forehand. And it's 1-love. 1-love De Jong. By the way, I don't know. Hadar is not happy with this medical timeout, apparently. I don't know why. I mean, it's a medical timeout. You're allowed to get one. Yeah, why is Hadar not happy with the medical timeout? What happened? Like, I feel like it's pretty legit. Anyways, Zverev. Return goes in from De Jong. Zverev backhand to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev backhand up the middle. De Jong with a forehand into the forehand of Zverev. Now to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev. Backhand again to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev again with the backhand on the stretch. De Jong forehand inside out. Zverev's there with the backhand. As De Jong forehand inside in. Zverev gets it. De Jong. Forehand again as Zverev goes up the middle. De Jong with a slice. Zverev slices it in the net. Love 15. Love 15. De Jong played a good point there. Oh, is it because the medical timeout was announced way earlier, and he's complaining about extra time? Is that why? Well, they got to do an assessment, and then they decide do the official treatment. The assessment period is not part of the timeout. As it a 4-4 rally, Zverev winner, 15-0. When they're poking his shoulder, that's not the treatment. That's just the assessment. And then they say, okay, we've figured out what it is, like where it is in the shoulder. Now we'll treat it. And the treatment should be is the timeout. The announcement, maybe they announced it early. They must have announced it like when the trainer came out. Maybe that's why Hadar's angry. They didn't announce a medical timeout. They must have they probably mucked that up. Because when you can call the trainer and talk to the trainer about what's going on, that's totally fair. And the timeout is the treatment. 30-15. And look, Hadar's got momentum. Like, it sucks for him, blah, blah, blah. But if PCB's got a shoulder problem, he's allowed to get treated. Even if it's not at the great time for Hadar. Like, of course he's going to be annoyed. Like, fair enough, but PCB can have he can have a medical timeout on his shoulder if he wants. If the doctors think it's legit, he's allowed. 30-0. Zverev serves again. By the way, Carreño Busta is a veteran, right? He's a veteran. He's not gonna, he's not bothered. He's like, I've got a sore shoulder. I'm gonna get treatment. He doesn't care if Hadar doesn't like it. That goes out by Zverev, 30-40. He's smart. He knows, like, if he's got a sore shoulder, he's gonna get treated, even if it's like, not a, even if it's just a general soreness issue, he's going to get treatment. He's been playing, hasn't been playing much tennis lately, so maybe he is a bit sore. Anyways, 30-40. But he's he's smart. And if it's going to annoy Hadar, better for him. Better for PCP. Great serving Zverev. All right, deuce. And Hadar just can't let it affect him. That's what he's got to do. He's got to make sure that it doesn't annoy him and it doesn't change his rhythm, because that's what those are supposed to do too. They're just like bathroom breaks and any other thing. As with a fault from Zverev, second serve. Yeah, we are just assuming that Hadar was upset by Carreño Busta getting a long timeout, but like I didn't hear him what he said, but again, Hadar, he has every right to be annoyed, for sure. As Zverev hits in the net, Zverev is not playing well to start this match. Advantage De Jong. Advantage De Jong to get the break here. Second break point. Zverev serves. Oh, the commentator's saying he might be asking to go off court. He was pointing at PCB, though, so I don't know. Unless he was pointing, like, going, while he's busy, can I get a medical time? Can I leave the court? Commentators saying that he was asking to go off the court. And I said no. Okay, that makes more sense why he was pissed. If he's like, well, what's this guy doing? That goes out by Zverev. What is he doing? What is this guy doing? Zverev doing? What's he doing? 2-love. Okay, that makes more sense that he was frustrated. That he couldn't leave the court while PCB was getting treated. All right. Here we go. Here we freaking go. 2-love. Serve and volley De Jong. Doesn't need a volley. 15-love. All right, as he goes, let. Is it De Jong's birthday as well? That's crazy. Well, that's probably not a good thing because Swiatek lost. All right. As De Jong 4-4 with Zverev. Zverev hits it out. Zverev is playing horribly. $30-love. As De Jong puts it away. 40-love. All right, 40-love. First serve, default, second serve. As we a double fault, 40-30. $40-30. Sorry, 40-15. I gave him another point, Zverev. As a return, goes in the net. We got to 3-love. De Jong. Great start. The perfect start. All right. 3-love in 12 minutes. Okay. Whatever, bro. If you say so. If you say so, bro. Ah, 3-love. No version of Zverev on clay ever is beating is Fonseca we saw Friday. Okay, well, okay. My TV switched off. Yep. People are rage quitting already. People are rage quitting this match already. Oh, man. Oh, God. It's happening already. All right, here we go. Let's see if Zverev can hold. Remember, chap, today is colder. Zverev's game, serving in particular, will not be as effective speed-wise because it is colder. So there's going to be more opportunities for the returner to get the ball back against Zverev today than it was in previous matches for the other guys. Remember, the temperatures have dropped. And this is like proper clay tennis now, right? Roland Garros clay. With the weather dropping and also with the rain coming, that's more the clay court slop that we're used to. And when I say slop, I mean like mud. 15-love. Zverev serves. A fault. 6 serve. Do I think Zverev's going to lose? No. I think he's going to win in 4, but I didn't think he was going to get it done easily. I mean, De Jong didn't make it here by accident. He got a lucky loser. All right, return. Goes the back into Zverev. 4 now from De Jong into the front of Zverev, and Zverev hits it wide. $15 all. Serve again. Into the front of De Jong. De Jong hits in the net. That was a good serve. 30-15. Yeah, there won't be any rain today, but there will be rain over the next few days. I was talking more about generally in the next few days rather than now. All right, Zverev, 40-15. Better hitting now. All right, 40-15. As a return, goes in the front of Zverev. Zverev in the net, though, 40-30. Zverev's serve is is just not working at all right now. His forehand is an issue. As a return, Goes in the front of Zverev, up the line, the backhand of De Jong. Zverev backhand. Again to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev with another backhand up the line. That's a beautiful shot. De Jong gets it back with a slice. Zverev comes to the net. De Jong with a pass. Zverev with a volley. De Jong with a pass. Zverev with a volley. De Jong with a pass. Zverev with a volley. Goes long. De Jong gets the deuce. Great hustle. Oh, dear. Deuce. De Jong gets the deuce. De Jong should get tired, right? Well, that's, yeah. Maybe. Return goes in the front of Zverev. Zverev at the line at the back of De Jong. Zverev wins the point. Advantage Zverev. Advantage Zverev. Hadar and PCB are 2-1. By the way, winner of Zverev versus De Jong will take on the winner of Carreño Busta and Hodar. So that is what is going on. All right. Zverev with a fault. Second serve. By the way, chat, this is so early 2000s Grand Slam tennis. This is what this tournament is. This tournament is early 2000s Grand Slams, because during those early 2000s, it was a crapshoot. And there was just so many players that could win and so many players that lost. And there was new guys on the scene. I mean, if we go back to... Okay, let me send you back as Zverev gets a deuce. Let's go back to the 2000 French Open, right? 2000 Roland Garros, right? Back in the 2000s, who were the best players? Well, Agassi, Sampras, Norman, Kafelnikov, right? Quirton was up there as well. Leighton was up there in that top 10, but still pretty young. We had guys like Safin. We had Juan Carlos Ferrero. All these guys. Kafelnikov and Quirton played a 5-setter. They were sort of the established guys. Quirton won the whole thing. He had won Grand Slams before, right? But Sampras and Agassi lost in the first couple of days, right? Magnus Norman made the final. He wasn't known for being... he wasn't a Grand Slam champion. If we go to 2002, though, Leighton was number 1. Safin was 2. Safin made the semis, by the way. That was pretty impressive. But Juan Carlos Ferrero was floating around. It wasn't as random as this is panning out to be, but still. It was Albert Costa, who won his only slam here in 2002, taking out Juan Carlos Ferrero. It was number 20 versus number 11 in the final. In the semis, in the quarters, we only had 2 and 4. Everybody else was outside the top 10. Grosjean was 10, but everyone else was outside the top 10. Leighton lost in the 4th round. Tommy Haas, number 3 seed, lost in the 4th round. We had, Agassi was going through. Number 2 was Safin. He made it through. Who was it? Number 5, Kafelnikov lost in the 2nd round. Quirton lost in the 4th round. Sampras lost 1st round as number 12 seed. So we're sort of in that realm where, there's a lot of first-time... there's a first-time champion on the card here, and there was a lot of first-time champions around that time. Not just at the French, but also, Wimbledon. We had Sampras. He was dominating the 90s, but then in the 2000s, he didn't win Wimbledon, right? He didn't win Wimbledon in 2001, 2002, 2003. He won in 2000, but he didn't win the others. We had, Ivanisevic getting one. Leighton got a Wimbledon. Just before Federer took over, US Open was the same, right? Australian Open was similar too. 2002, we had a Thomas Johansson, right? 2002 Australian Open, right? Thomas Johansson comes out of nowhere to win a slam. That is what this slam might be. It might be one of those, how did that guy win a slam? Johansson was 16 in the world at the time. Actually, this is so much more like that. Because we've only got 2 top 10 guys left. There was only 2 top 10 guys back then. Leighton was the number 1 seed, lost in the 1st round in Australia. Federer lost in the 4th round to Haas. We had Quirton lost 1st round as well. So the number 1, 2 seeds lost in the 1st round. Kafelnikov lost second round, number 4 seed. Grosjean, 5th seed, lost second round. Sampras lost in the 4th round to Safin, who was the 8th seed. Roddick lost early. The number 3 seed pulled out. Agassi pulled out. Love 40, by the way. So yeah, only Tommy Haas and Marat Safin got to the second week. Everybody else lost before the 4th round from the top 10. And we are in that similar scenario right now from like 2002. And if we're going to go by the seeds, Thomas Johansson was 16th seed. That means that the tournament winner is going to be, tournament champion is going to be like Casper Ruud. That wouldn't actually be that weird, to be honest. Anyways, back here goes in the forward of Zverev. Zverev gets the break back. Good hitting. Great hitting. I mean, it would kind of maybe be like Tiafoe winning, even though that wouldn't be so out of pocket, but still. I think a lot of people in like 10, 15 years would look back and go, Tiafoe won the French. That's a bit odd. The French? I would have thought for sure he'd win maybe the US, but French, like a little bit, like that would be probably the equivalent. Like Thomas Johansson, I don't remember, but maybe back then, Thomas Johansson was considered he made a couple of quarterfinals at Slams before then. Only 2. He made a semifinal at Wimbledon in 2005 later. He did win in Montreal, Canada in 1999 or 1000. So again, maybe not, still not, but again, not expected to win a slam in 2002. So it might be like Big Foe. I don't know. Maybe that's the equivalent we've got at the moment if Foe wins the title. Probably more likely an unseeded guy, like someone out of the box winning would be very unusual. Hadar is, by the way, is just pumping this crowd up because 5 sets are the name of the game. All right. Anyways, that's where we are. We're just in this weird early 2000s pre-Nadal Federer moment right now. Obviously, we're right in the middle of Sinkaraz, or we're getting started with Sinkaraz, but this tournament just feels so early 2000s. Like the generational gap between, like the shift between Sampras and Agassi to Nadal Federer. Like we had years of that, a couple of years of that, but here we have 1 week or 1 day or 1 tournament. I haven't watched the Rafa doc because I haven't had time. I've been streaming 11 hours a day for the last week. All right, 3-2. Zverev back on serve though. Zverev back on serve. As he serves a fault second serve. Yeah, this is not the same as what the early 2000s was, because the early 2000s was a shift in generations, right? It was the new guys coming in, the old guard leaving, but this is a moment that feels... we might look back at this slam and look at it like those slams, where we go, how did Albert Costa win on clay back then? How did Thomas Johansson win the Australian Open? Like that is, maybe like Peter Korda winning in 98 or Krajicek in 96, right? Like, how did that happen? Why did that happen? 2004 French Open. Gaudio, how did that happen? Like that feels like that's where we might be right now. If Zverev and Ruud don't win, it might be one of those moments we look back and think, I don't understand, or I don't like you had to be there. You had to be there. Hadar's got a break in the 4th. Remember, the winner of this match plays the winner of Hadar and Carina Busta. 15-0. There's a bit of fault from Zverev. Second serve. By the way, Hadar Zverev's the night session, right? Like, that's the night match. It's got to be. That's got to be the night quarterfinal. For sure, right? Double fault Zverev, 15-30. If Zverev makes the final, will he have played a top 10 player to rank the final? No. The only top 10 guy left is FAA, and he's at the top. So, no. But who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, like, we have this conversation. Oh, well, who did they beat? Who cares? I don't think Zverev gives a shit if he had to play Sinner to win or if he had to play Berrettini to win. Like, he doesn't care how he won the trophy. And at the end of the day, nobody's going to remember how he won the trophy. They're only going to remember who won. Like, who lifted the trophy, right? Who gives a shit how they won it? You don't get bonus prize money for beating the top 10. Anyways, volley winner by Zverev. That's a good shot, 30-0. Zverev's starting to throw fists. Like, they don't take away the trophy if you don't beat top 10 guys. Like, that's not... There's no, like... You're the champion, but you also didn't do this, so you don't actually get the trophy. Like, no, who cares? All right. Nice work, Zverev. I tell you what, Zverev, little fist bump there as well. He's not... This early on, 30-0. As the return goes to form, Zverev at the line is a winner, 40-30. 40-30. $40-30. $40-30. Hadar is taking over. All right. Zverev holds 3-0. We're level. All right. All right, 15 love De Jong. Thanks, Dutchy. The competition does matter. Numbers are not everything. Some slams are earned, while others are inflated. I don't care. All right, that goes out. That goes out by Zverev, 30 love. Like, you may like sit back and go through every slam in history and then like you must at your house must have like a ranking system of like, well, that slam was, you know, Federer won this slam by beating all of these guys. But then this guy didn't beat anybody. So he's down here. You may do that. But at the end of the day, everyone's going to look back at the slam champions of the past and see who won and maybe who they beat in the final. No one's going to look back at who Zverev played in the fourth round, quarterfinals. Nobody's going to talk about the road to the final because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care. You might care. You might devalue slams. But at the end of the day, if you win a slam by beating no top 10 players, and if you win a slam by beating all the top 10 players, you win a slam. You win a slam. You both get that trophy. You both get the replica. You both are slam champions. You both can, you know, put that on your resume. Nobody cares. Nobody will care. You might care. Nobody else cares. All right. 40 love. The only time it actually matters is when someone goes on an impressive run. Like, that's when we talk about it, right? We're like, oh, how good was that run by Federer? Or how good was that Djokovic run? It's only when they do go on and beat all these players that we look back and go, wow, he beat him and him and him and him. When they go on and they don't beat like top players, we don't really mention the road. We just talk about how they won. By the way, this the fact that all these players are gone is just as tough for Zverev as if they were there. You know, mentally it's tough. You know, obviously with Sinner in the draw it was physically tough, but mentally tough now. right? Because now he's not there. He's like, oh no, I have to do it. So yeah, we're not going to look back and downgrade the winner of this tournament because they didn't beat Jannik Sinner, unless it's Juan Manuel Cerundolo or Joao Fonseca. I think it's just so petty to do that, to dismiss people as slam champions for that, for not beating the players that you think they should. It's like they won the whole thing. It's still hard to win. Slams are not easy to win. Doesn't matter who's in the draw. Nobody is overdue. Okay. Yeah, like Keys having that run last year. We talk about that because of who she beat was amazing, right? But we don't look at like the Ash Barty run in 2022 and say, oh, that was too easy. That doesn't count. No, it does. Right? I don't remember if it was that easy. I think she beat Pegula and stuff, so it wasn't that hard. It wasn't hard. It wasn't easy. It was had its moments of hard moments. But again, time will. Whoever wins this title, if Zverev wins this title, people won't dissect it in 10 years. They'll just look at Zverev winning the title. Go, oh, he won the title. Good for him. All right. I love that he hasn't even gotten to the quarters yet, and we're already taking it away. People are already waiting to snatch it off him. He hasn't even won this match yet, and we're already downgrading his achievements. It's crazy. We're already putting caveats to Zverev's potential win. Like, that's crazy. Hadar, by the way, is kicking ass. He is dominating the fourth. I tell you, physically, he's not looking bad. He's doing fine. All right. Nice volley there from Zverev. All right. Sasha's got it sorted now. He's down 3-love to start this one. And Zverev serves out wide, 30-love. And the lob goes long. And it's 40-love. All right, 40-love. De Jong in 5, you reckon? You reckon Zverev's out? 4-0. Is Roddick a Hall of Famer? Yeah. Yeah, Roddick's in the Hall of Fame. For sure. 100%. All right, Hadar's going 5. Hadar's going 5. Hadar is going 5. They were 2 quick sets as well. That was only an hour for those 2 sets. So Hadar, it's only been 3 hours in that match. So Hadar should be physically feeling fine. He ran through those sets. All right, 4-0. There's a double fault from De Jong. And it's love 15. All right, De Jong double faults, love 15. Ace from De Jong. 15-0. As a return from Zverev goes the forehand of De Jong. Backhand out from Zverev. The backhand of De Jong is Zverev backhand on the stretch. De Jong drop shot. Zverev with a slice. De De Jong with a pass. Zverev with a drop volley. De Jong's going to get there with a forehand up the line. Zverev with a slice lob. Oh, it went long. Good hustle again by De Jong. And it's 30-15. 30-15. All right. Serve and volley. Oh, it's Zverev with a pass. Great pass. All right. Lovely passing shot from Zverev. What a return. That was a beautiful return. All right. De Jong serves again. 30-0. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return goes to forehand of De Jong. Up the line to the backhand of Zverev. De Jong back again into the backhand of Zverev. As De Jong with the backhand again. Into the backhand of Zverev. As De Jong goes to the forehand of Zverev. Another forehand from De Jong. Zverev with the backhand. Inside out. Winner. All right. Zverev starting to feel comfortable here. 30-40. Zverev to take a break and serve the set here. $30-40. As a return, goes in the net by Zverev, and we have to deuce. It's starting to rain. It's starting to rain. I think they're going to close the roof on Hodar's court. Hodar, there's a lot of umbrellas going up. As the return goes in, the backhand of De Jong. Backhand from Zverev again, the backhand of De Jong. De Jong hits it long, wide. And it's advantage Zverev. All right, advantage Zverev. To get the break. And serve for the set. As the return goes forehand to De Jong. Forehand from Zverev up the line. Oh, no, he shanked it. He shanked it. He was going up the line. He shanked it cross court. Off the frame and out. Deuce. If Fonseca wins against Rude, then the winner is in the semifinals between Zverev and Fonseca with champion. Okay. As De Jong hits a lovely drop volley winner. Advantage De Jong. Advantage De Jong. As shank again from Zverev goes out. All right. De Jong stays in front. But Zverev's going to serve to stay in this set now. All right. Fonseca will destroy Alcaraz in 2 years. I tell you, beating Djokovic will give him a lot of confidence. Fonseca versus Rude. Yep, that's happening in about 4 hours. By the way, to the guy making Arsenal jokes, we won the Premier League, so you should just be more educated. It is raining. Yeah, there is rain around. Oh, power. Karina Buster, I think, with the bathroom. Okay. Yeah, all the clubs in England that didn't win the Premier League are all like PSG fans now. It's weird. Cry less. Better luck next year. All right. Zverev serves. Let's just stay in the set. As return goes out by De Jong. 15 love. Rockies won. Yeah, no, we won again. Let's go. Rockies are on fire. Are we off the are we second bottom in the oh no, we're still down because of the if we beat the Giants today, we should go up, right? Or if we beat the Giants today. All right. Back end, and that goes in the net by Zverev. 15-0. Cam's looking bored because Sinner lost. No. As we get a serve now from Zverev. And the return goes into the crowd. That was a close serve from Zverev. De Jong's having a look. Umpire's going to check. Yeah, it was good. Umpire called it good. All right, good serve, Zverev. 30-15. 30-15. Serve to the backhand of De Jong. Forehand from Zverev to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev backhand again. Into the forehand of De Jong. Zverev backhand to backhand. As we get a backhand from De Jong again to the backhand of Zverev. De Jong again to the forehand of Zverev. Into the forehand of De Jong. Zverev again with a forehand up the line. De Jong backhand cross court. Zverev goes up the line again. De Jong with a forehand of the stretch. Zverev drop shot. De Jong's going to get there with a slice, but it's in the net. 40-15. Nole playing Queen's Club? I don't think so. I don't think he's playing any of those events. All right. 40-15. Longest rally of the match, that one. All right. Zverev gets the 5-all. Nice hitting. 5-5. All right. Back to De Jong. As we had a volley there from De Jong. That's a nice shot. 15 love. All right, 15 love. Good serve and volley. As the return goes in, the forehand of De Jong. Forehand now from Zverev, and then De Jong passing shot winner. 30 love. Great hitting. 30 love. All right, 30 love. Good serve again. 40 love. De Jong winning this first set in a tiebreak would not be unusual. 40 love. First serve's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes the backhand of De Jong. Good drop shot. But Zverev puts it away. 40-15. All right. De Jong to stay in front. As De Jong hits a great serve, and it's 6-5. 6-5. 6-5. I have to say, your passion and commentary for tennis is unrivaled. Might have to join for a membership in the future. Keep up the brilliant work. Hey, thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. 6-5 De Jong. All right, PCB has to play smart now. Yeah. He has to take his opportunities too if he's going to get the win. Oh, pardon me. De Jong gives everything in this set. If he loses it, it's over. Yeah. Let me have a look at his record here. So De Jong did play Jannik Sinner in Rome last year, lost in straight sets. He did play Zverev at Roland Garros last year and actually won the first set. And then lost in 4. He also won the third set against Alcaraz in 2024 Roland Garros, so as a qualifier. So he's not a stranger to winning a set against a top 3 guy at this Grand Slam. So, and on this court too, I'm sure they would have put him on this court against Alcaraz. So, yeah. He's also played Sinner at the Australian Open, Medvedev at the Australian Open. He lost both of those in straights. Medvedev was a close one. He did beat Hashanov at Roland Garros this year. That was his best win ever. He also beat Menchik last year in Shanghai, which was his second best win of all time. But yeah, so he has stolen sets and taken a couple of sets on this at this venue. One against this guy. So he would rate his chances. 15 loves Zverev. 7 to get to a tiebreak. All right. First of the fault, second serve. Serve again. Hands to the backhand Zverev. Into the forehand of De Jong. Zverev up the line to the backhand of De Jong. Into the backhand of Zverev. De Jong now with his forehand. They go forehand to forehand. Zverev comes in with a backhand drop shot. De Jong with a pass. Goes long. Just pushes it long. 30 love. I think Fonseca will be the one to challenge Sinner Alcaraz in the future. Okay, nice. Ah, 30 love. All right, nice serve, Zverev. 40 love. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As the return goes in the forehand, Zverev. Forehand from De Jong on the stretch. Zverev back in open court winner. All right, tiebreak time. Who's winning the tiebreak? Who's winning the tiebreak? Can Zverev take the first year? Almost been an hour. Sasha, De Jong, Zverev. De Jong 11-9. 7-4 De Jong. Zverev. All right, first serve, the full second serve.
De Jong, tea-break my dung.
Hey, okay, I have no idea what that was. Thank you for the $20. All right, return goes into the backhand of De Jong as we had a forehand rally. And Zverev hits it out. 1 love to De Jong. 1 love De Jong. One zero. As a return, goes into the forehand of Zverev. Oh, Zverev in the net. 2 love to De Jong. Starting to rain. 2-0. Serve out wide, the forehand of De Jong. Return goes to forehand of Zverev. Oh, he missed that one as well, Zverev. 3 love. De Jong. All right, 3-0. 3 love De Jong. As the return goes in, the volley of De Jong. Zverev's going to get it. Put it away. De Jong just ducked and put the racket up like, ah. All right, Zverev gets one of the mini breaks back. 3-1 De Jong. Hodar breaks in the 5th. Ooh. All right, De Jong as Zverev backhand up the line winner. Great shot. Threading the needles, Zverev. 3-2. We're back on serve. What a shot. All right, 3-2. De Jong. Zverev with a big shout after that shot as well. I tell you, Zverev is fired up. And he should be, because he knows what is at stake. He knows what he could do. I think they're going to close the roof at Hadar's court. Anyway, it's 4 up the line from Zverev. It's a backhand in the net by De Jong with 3-all. By the way, chat, I was going to say this, but I knew that the second that Hadar broke, PCB would be like, "Can we close the roof?" Like, come on. He knows the drill. He's a veteran. He's played this game enough. He knows this. I thought, if Hadar breaks here, it's still raining. PCB's going to sit down and be like, "It's too wet for me." You know, of course he is. You got to use all those tactics, right? You got to do everything you can to try and disrupt the play and momentum. He's a veteran. Of course he's going to do that. They're not closing the roof. They're just waiting for a passing shower. Yeah. But like PCB's glued to his chair. Hadar's walking around. He sat right there. He's like... All right, 3-0. Good serve, Zverev. 4-3. Nice fight back. And Hadar's talking to the tournament directors about, are we going to close the roof? What's going to happen? Hadar's asking questions. 4-3 Zverev. It's on serve, though. As we have fault second serve. Second serve. Oh, double fault from De Jong. All right. Zverev's got the mini break 5-3. He's won 5 points in a row. Yeah, Carreño Busta hasn't moved an inch off that chair. He's like, I'm standing under this umbrella. I'm cold. He ain't moving. He ain't moving. All right. 5-3 Zverev as De Jong serves the front of Zverev. De Jong forehand again, the front of Zverev as De Jong with the backhand. He did the backhand of Zverev again, the backhand of De Jong, backhand from Zverev. And then De Jong hits it long. 6 points in a row for Zverev. His exact words were to the umpire that it's too slippery. Someone could really fall and get hurt. We need to close the roof. Hey, look, fair enough. The lines do get slippery even if there's no puddles on the court. Look, fair enough. I'm not saying that Carreño Busta is lying, but he is definitely doing this at an opportune time. Like, he's refusing to play at a very particular moment. And that's fine. Zverev serves a fault second serve. Like, I have no problem with him trying to, I'm all for safety, but also you got to remember that he just got broken. And he's going to use every little trick in the book against this young kid to try and get back in the match. That's also part of it. Backhand to backhand rally. As Zverev with a drop shot. De Jong can't get it. Zverev wins 7 points to take the tie break. First set, Zverev, 7-3. Because, I'm looking at the Hodar match. Hodar's walking around in the rain, and Carreño Busta ain't moving. So, well, I get it. Like, stopping and asking to close the roof because it's slippery, fair enough. But also, like, he wasn't doing this 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago, right? When it started raining. 2-1 down, it safety, but also strategy, right? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the fact that fact either. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm like, hey, yeah, gamesmanship, go for it. PCB playing the safety card, I'm fine with that. You know, especially when your opponent is going crazy and winning a lot of points and, you know, has momentum. They look, play the safety card and try and, try and stop Hadar's run. Go for it. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, then what it is, what it is. All right. But Sasha takes the first, 7-6. He gets out of that one. That was a sketchy set, but he won it. That's all that matters for Zverev. Should pass completely in about 15 minutes, yeah. Well, Zverev and De Jong haven't stopped. Zverev, 19 winners, 18 errors. Whew. 9 winners, 7 errors from De Jong. All right. Yeah, the Zverev match there's not even umbrellas. So it must be just raining on that side of the stadium. I said they stop playing, resume tomorrow. No chance. No chance. They'll play today. All right, now the Zverev court has got a bit of an interruption. Carreño Busta and Hoda are back on court, by the way. Yeah. Oh, speaking to you, I can't understand. All right. They're waiting for the rain on the Zverev court to pass now. Are they going to wait? They're going to wait, I think, for the rain on Zverev's court. By the way, Zverev has every right to be cautious because he had a career-defining injury on this court. When the roof shut, and it was under a roof, and it was sweaty and hot. It was sweaty and humid, I should say, and he rolled an ankle on the sticky clay. So he has every right to be cautious. Zverev doesn't want the roof shut. Yeah, probably because of what happened. It was under the roof when he played Rafa. And the clay got it looked like it was sticky, the clay, when he rolled his ankle. So he probably just doesn't want to play under the roof for safety reasons, really. They're going to play anyway. They're going to continue. Why don't they play with the roof closed all the time? Because that's just not the way they do things. Tennis is an outdoor sport. Majority outdoor. So that's why they don't close the roof and play indoors all the time. It's meant to be outdoors. Serve and volley. Zverev puts away the winner. It's like baseball. Why don't they play that indoors? No, because it's an outdoor sport. All right. 15 loves Zverev. Nadal lost, so Federer could win a French Open. Okay. Great serve. Zverev, 30 love. All right, serve against Zverev. To the forehand of De Jong. Zverev up the middle. De Jong forehand to the forehand of Zverev. Forehand from De Jong again. This one goes in the net. 40 love. 40 love. As a return goes to the forehand of Zverev. There's a great return. Zverev hit it long. And it's 40-15. As we get a 4 up the line to the backhand of De Jong. Backhand of Zverev again. The backhand of De Jong. Zverev forehand. Into the forehand of De Jong. Zverev with the backhand. Again to the backhand of De Jong. And then Zverev forehand goes wide. 40-30. 40-30. All right, 40-30. Zverev to take the first game of the second. Backhand return the net. All right, Zverev. 1-love in the second. All right. If he wins today, would that be the most matches someone's come back from 2 sets down to win a tournament in a single tournament? If he wins today, who wins today? Hodar? Would that be the most matches someone's come back from 2 sets down? I don't think so. I mean, Hodar hasn't. You're talking about Hodar or you're talking about. I'm talking about Fonseca. 1-love Zverev. First serve default. Second serve. As we get a backhand to backhand rally. Zverev backhand again. The backhand of De Jong. Zverev backhand up the line. De Jong gets it with the forehand on the stretch. As the drop shot from Zverev's good. De Jong gets it. Zverev backhand lob. De Jong puts away the smash. And it's 15-love. Love. Hodar is running away with this match. Nothing is going to stop Hodar. You can have rain delays. You can have medical timeouts. You can have bathroom breaks. Nothing is going to stop this guy. He's a freight train. This guy is a freight train. You cannot stop Hodar. You cannot stop Hodar. Nah, Hodar didn't come back from 2 sets down. That was as Fonseca did that. Fonseca, the Brazilian who plays Rude tonight, he come back from 2 sets down twice. Hodar played a 5-setter, but not from 2 sets down in the last round. 15-0. So Zverev Hodar is the match at the moment. Did I watch Backrooms? I haven't left my house to do any activities except for walk around the block with my dog. Yeah, I've been I've been sitting in this chair for the entire week. I've been in this room more than I've been anywhere else in the world. I wish I could see Backrooms, but I just haven't had time. I've got a list of things I want to go watch after the French. 30-15. That's on my list. That one, Obsession, all those movies. I'm just going to go on a horror movie marathon at the cinema. Backing up the line from De Jong as Zverev comes up with a volley. Okay. And then De Jong hits a backhand pass. Woo. All right, 40-15. Great shot. Hodar and Davis Cup. Hodar and Davis Cup with Alcaraz and Landaluce versus Italy. Spain, Italy, Davis Cup. How juicy does that look? Hodar versus Musetti. Sinner Alcaraz. Landaluce can take on Caboli. Come on now, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What is that what is that clash? Crazy. And we had Spain, Italy last year, but none of them played. Only Caboli played. 1-1 in the second. 1-1. As Zverev says, a fault second serve. Serve again. There's a return. Goes in the backhand of Zverev, backhand of De Jong, into the backhand of Zverev. De Jong in the net. It's 15-love. All right, 30-love. Serve into the forehand of De Jong. Backhand now from Hodard, from Zverev into the backhand of De Jong, and then Zverev puts it away. Hodard up 5-1, by the way. 40-love Zverev. I'll tell you, I'm excited to see what Hodard does on grass. I reckon his game on grass is going to be something really interesting. Like, how good is he on this surface? And then what happens when he's playing on the grass? That serve? He's plays so aggressive as well. All right, Zverev holds 2-1. All right. 2-1 in the second. Underrated serve Hadar. Could be great on grass. Oh, yeah. Be crazy. Yeah, Hadar is dominating. All right. All right. 2-1. All right. 2-1 Zverev in the second. Is Hadar going to be able to beat Carlitos? Be better than Carlitos? Let's not. I don't want to do that stupid game. I don't want to do that game, please. That's an unanswerable question at this time. Tennis Talks has an impeccable hairline. Thank you. All right. As the return goes, the forehand of De Jong. Forehand from Zverev. Again to the forehand of De Jong. Zverev up the line to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev again to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev puts it cross court for a winner. Lovely shot. Hadar serving for the match. Hadar is serving for the match against Carreño Busta. Winner's going to play the winner of this match, by the way. So Hadar might await the winner of this Zverev match. Zverev Hadar in a quarterfinal of a major. That's a good quarterfinal. That's a quarterfinal I think we all expected too. When the draw came out, that was the quarterfinal I thought was going to happen. So, not mad at that. All right, backhand drop shot in the net from De Jong, and it's love 30. What was my quarterfinal lineup for the bracket? So I had Sinner Tsitsipas, okay. Vachereau Kaboli, okay. Rublev Rude, and Hodar Zverev. How is my bracket somehow still not terrible? That is insane. Anyways, on the women's side, I had what? Sabalenka Bagula, Gauff, Zhang, Swiatek Svitolina, and Andreeva Raducanu. Okay. That's a shambles. All right. That's a shambles. Lovely shot by De Jong. Hadar's got match points. All right. 15-30. Serve again from De Jong. Ace. 30-0. All right, 30-0. First serve's a fault, second serve. Return goes in the front of De Jong. Back in now from Zverev into the back of De Jong. Zverev with a drop shot. De Jong gets it back, but Zverev with a volley open court. De Jong gets it back with a lob. Zverev puts away the smash. 30-40 Zverev. Zverev to take the break in the second. In my bracket, I had Hodar beating Zverev. Ooh, spicy. None of those projected quarterfinals happening. On the women's side, yeah. WTA sides are shambles. All right, Zverev returns into the forehand of De Jong. And Zverev again with the forehand into the backhand of De Jong. Zverev again with the forehand goes wide, and we get the deuce. All right, deuce. All right, De Jong serves again. To the backhand, Zverev goes wide. And it's advantage De Jong. Advantage De Jong to take the game, level this up. As a return, goes in, drop shot, De Jong's good. Zverev gets it back, but De Jong volleys it away. Great hands. And De Jong takes this game and levels. 2-0. 2-0. All right. Cam, do you still collect player cards? Yeah. Yep. After this tournament, I'm going to go through all my player cards, and check it out and see which ones I keep and see which ones I don't. All right. Hoda wins. He wins. By the way, chat, it's very off-putting, and I know none of you can see this, but it's very funny to see like everybody writing Hadar in the chat, and it thinks it's actually translation. I don't know what language it thinks it is, but I'm looking at the chat right now, and it's saying a lot of bad words. So I don't know what Hadar means in some other languages, but I'll tell you, it's a bad word. So whatever Hadar means in whatever language that is, then it's you're all swearing at me right now, and I'm a bit offended. You're all saying F you. I don't know what the translation for Hadar is in whatever language that is, but the live Hadar is being translated into a bad word. All right. All right, 30-15 Zverev. So I don't know what's going on. None of you can see it though, but everyone who says Hadar, it's yeah. That's an interesting chat. The auto translation is is interesting. All right, Zverev, 40-15. $40-15. $40-15. There's a bit of fault from Zverev. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault. 40-30. Zverev holds. In the second, he stays in front. 3-2. All right. Okay. 3-2 Zverev in the second. So we know he's going to play Hadar. What comparisons do you think Hadar has to past and present players? Cilic. I don't know why. I just get a Cilic vibe. Every time I watch him, I'm just like, he's just got the frame of Cilic. He's got the serving. I mean, he just looks like a big, lanky Cilic. Like a big, I don't know why. He just gives me that, especially like the, I don't know, it just has, I just think Cilic when I see him. He's probably got the intensity as well. Like Cilic has got that intensity. I don't know. He's probably more aggressive than Cilic. Cilic stood back. By the way, is that Selma Hayek? You know, the actress? That's crazy. 15 love. Cam, you look tired today? Thank you. I feel tired. As that goes out by Zverev, 30 love. He's only 6'3", but he looks super tall. Yeah, so he's not as tall as Cilic, but yeah. All right, 30 love. As the return goes in, smash from Hadar is Zverev with the back up the line. Hadar, fuck, we're not there yet. De Jong, I can't read. De Jong, backhand to backhand rally. I'm just practicing the quarterfinals. As the backhand again up the line, forehand from Zverev into the forehand of De Jong, to the backhand of Zverev. De Jong, backhand again to the forehand of Zverev. De Jong with a pass. Oh, Zverev with a great volley though, 30-15. Nice lunging volley. 30-15. $30-15. A bit of false second serve. As a return, goes into the forehand of De Jong. Forehand from Zverev, the forehand of De Jong is Zverev. Up the lines. De Jong goes up the line back, but it's wide. All right, 30-all. All right, serve. And that goes the net by Zverev, 40-30. $40-30. All right, De Jong holds. It's 3-all. All right, 3-3. Back to Zverev. Zverev, 15 love. Serve again. As the return goes in the backhand of Zverev, up the line of the forehand of De Jong. Forehand from Zverev again, the forehand of De Jong. De Jong hits it long, and it's 30 love. $30 love. As a return goes to backhand, Zverev. Drop shot's good. De Jong gets it back with the drop shot, but it's in the net. 40 love. How many hours sleep do I get? Like 5? During slams? 5 or 6? 40 love. All right. Oh, thanks, Deb. All right, 4-3. Zverev holds. Nadal and Zverev have not played. I don't think. Have they? They played doubles in Acapulco and Zverev won. They've never played singles though. First time. If Zverev wins. How would you describe Zverev's play style? Long, grindy, patient, slow. Yeah, I mean, I feel like patient's a nicer word. Nadal's the real deal? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And look, I'm not saying, and I'm not going to say this as, if you're going to interpret this as me bashing him, then you can get stuffed. But when the draw came out, he was supposed to make the quarters. So he's done what he was supposed to. And it's not easy because, we saw that there were some best of 3-set matches the last couple of months that his legs gave way. His legs have been fine. He's played 2 5-setters in a row now and a 4-setter, and he's been okay. Like, he doesn't look physically... Like, he's come back from 2 sets of love, 2 sets of 1, and looks fine. But when the draw came out, Lehechka was the only guy that looked like a threat, because Fritz on clay was not going to be a threat. It looked like Lehechka in the 4th round might have been, but Lehechka lost to Green Buster, so... But it's one thing to get the draw and be like, oh, Hadar's going to make the quarters, and then for him to actually make the quarters. So it's super impressive that he's done that. And like with that expectation, I mean, again, all of us went, he's going to make the quarters, but he's also just starting. So like that pressure, the expectation we put on him is probably unfair, but he's lived up to it. So here's the real deal. I mean, dealing with the pressures and the physicality to make a slam quarterfinal that's awesome. Like, it's so good. Let's see what he can do against the winner of this match in the quarters. All right. 15-0. We default second serve. As return goes the forehand of De Jong. Backhand up from Zverev. Into the backhand of De Jong. As Zverev backhand again to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev backhand up the line. Goes long. And it's 30-15. Nah. 30-15. As the return goes into the forehand of De Jong. Forehand now from Zverev. To the backhand of De Jong. As Zverev forehand again to the forehand of De Jong. Into the forehand of Zverev. De Jong up the line. As Zverev with the backhand. De Jong gets it. As Zverev backhand again. De Jong slice in the net. And Zverev gets the 30-0. 30-0. Chance for Zverev to take the break and serve for the second. A bit of serve in the forehand of Zverev. Will return the net. 40-30. De Jong serves again. And the return goes a forehand of De Jong, and De Jong puts it away. All right, 4-all. I think Teichmann is tricky for Andreeva. Your take? Yeah, she will be for sure. That will be a tricky matchup. I concur. All right. Forehand goes in the back end of De Jong. De Jong's lob goes wide. 15 love. Love. By the way, chat, we are so close. We are only 431 away from 300,000 subscribers. So thank you for that. There is a possibility we get there soon. So thank you for that. Don't forget to sub if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to like the video. We're almost at 400 likes. Zverev serves. Into the forehand of De Jong. De Jong hits it wide. Thank you for the person who subscribed. Whoever that one person was, you know who you are. Thank you. Also, if you're new to the channel, say hi in the chat. Feel free to say hi. Don't be shy. Everybody's friendly, and if they're not, we'll kick them out. All right, 30 love. As that goes out by De Jong, 40 love. All right, serve again. Is an ace. By the way, chat, I'm just having a look because it is technically the end of the month in Australia. And it looks like we may have been the #1 stream in the sports category on YouTube for Australian YouTube channels in the month of May 2026, #1. Just ahead of the Australian Football League, who went live for a mid-season draft. We might, maybe, it's unconfirmed. We might have been 3 times this year the #1. Back to back to back. But we gotta wait and see. We have to wait and see. Because the Australian Football League went live for the mid-season draft, and that had 10,000 people watching. We had 11,000 during the Fonseca Djokovic match, so we gotta wait and see. It's not confirmed, it's unconfirmed, but it looks maybe we've gone back to back to back. All right, De Jong's gonna serve. to stay in this set. Not confirmed, not confirmed. We have to wait. It'll be confirmed tomorrow. Do I get a plug for that? No, I just get to brag. As we go to 400 rally. De Jong again to the forehand of Zverev, up the line of the backhand of De Jong. Backhand from Zverev into the De Jong forehand. Zverev, another backhand into the backhand of De Jong. Zverev back up the line is long. It's 15 love. Now we're going to wait until it's confirmed. We're going to wait for it to be confirmed. It's technically not the end of the month in the rest of the world. It's going to wait. All right, 15 love. Good serve into the forehand of Zverev. Forehand from De Jong. Into the backhand of Zverev. De Jong, the forehand to the forehand of Zverev. Again to the forehand of De Jong. Zverev forehand. Into the forehand of De Jong. And De Jong hits it long, and it's 15-0. Now we're gonna wait for the clock to go, the date to go over to June 1 for the rest of the planet, and then then we can confirm. We should make a trophy. We might make a t-shirt. 15-0. As the return goes in the front of De Jong. De Jong hits it wide though. 15-30. All right, Zverev. Chance to get 2 sets of love lead here. All right, 15-30, Zverev. Couple of points away from taking a 2 sets lead as the return goes in the forehand of De Jong. Forehand from Zverev. Again to the forehand of De Jong is Zverev. Up the middle to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev backhand again to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev with another backhand into the De Jong forehand. Zverev, another forehand to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev again with a forehand. De Jong on the attack. Over hits it, and it's 15-40. And Zverev's got 2 set points for a 2 sets to love lead. $15.40. $15.40. As De Jong serves. And volleys. No volley needed. Zverev was too good. Volley ended up going in the ground. He tried. He couldn't do it. Zverev takes the 2 sets to love lead in this 4th round. 1 hour 45. All right. Nice stuff from Zverev. Just clinical in that set. And now it's a 2 set lead. The number 1 in the favorites. He will be playing playing Hodar in the next round if he wins. Which will be, it's got to be a night session, right? That's got to be the night. Unless you put Rublev Ruud at night. I don't know. Or do you put Fonseca Menchik at night? I don't know. Fonseca Rublev at night? Nah, it's got to be Hodar Zverev's got to be night match. Got to put that in the night match. All right. Okay. Because we know best of 5 is real tennis, no rocks to hide under at slams. That's true. I love how being 2 sets down is a curse. Yeah, Zverev. Yeah, Zverev's going to lose now. Damn it. God, I was so excited to see him win his first slam, but now he's going to lose. This is so unfortunate. Why do you have to win the first 2 sets? Why couldn't he just throw the first and then win the second? Oh, damn it. Anyways, it was nice knowing him. In that set, by the way, 11 winners, 6 errors from Zverev. Didn't face a break point on his serve. 6 winners and 10 errors from De Jong. And yeah, only the 1 break, and that was at the end. Alcaraz's 5-set record stands alone as one of the greatest achievements of all time. Currently, he has to finish his career, and then we'll go from there. We'll talk about then. Tomorrow's matches really are not that wow. Exactly. Tomorrow's matches are a bit blah. At least on the men's side. On the women's side, they're fire. On the women's side, it's fire. But on the men's side, yeah, it's a little bit lacking. But that's what happens when we get upsets. You know, the upsets happen and the draw falls apart, and then we get some matches that we didn't expect or didn't want. Depends who you ask. Where is the schedule? I'm blind. Where is it? The schedule came out real early. Where is it? Here it is. But why am I looking at my phone? It could be on. I can just look at my computer. It's on my computer. Yeah. So the match of the day tomorrow is Sabalenka Osaka. Other than that, though, yeah, it's pretty weird. The Schreider-Caboli match, oh man, look, Schreider deserves to be there, but how good would it have been if it was Cerundolo-Caboli? That would have really felt like a bit of a battle of the final, like future finalist, right? FAA Tabilo is not bad. That's not bad either. I mean, they're not bad matches. They're just not the matches that they're not matches that we'd ordinarily watch had there been other players, right? Like, we would 100 million% always be watching Sabalenka Osaka, but we wouldn't watch Caboli versus Schreider. Even if that was the first round, we wouldn't have watched it. FAA Tabilo is like, maybe, but probably not. Tiafoe and Aldi, we wouldn't watch, really. Cerundolo Berrettini, we wouldn't have watched. Keys Schneider's not bad. Kalinskaya Popova's not bad. The women's matches are right. Parry versus the Polish wildcard. Chwilinska. Chwilinska. I said that right the first time. I accidentally got that right. Chwilinska. Did I get that right? Chwilinska. Did I get that right? Chwilinska. Not even close. Shut up. All right, 6-4. 6-4 second set. Almost great. Thank you. Yeah, Bio, shut up. This is not. I'm going to say something nice. Say good try. Please. You're doing your best. Hey, that's all we can do. All right, 30 love. Zverev. All right, 30 love. I don't know if we're going to watch that, though. We'll see what happens, because I kind of like Keith Schneider. We'll see what we do. We might watch. I don't know. All right, 40 love. All right, first serve to 4 second serve. Yeah, Zverev has lost one set this tournament. He lost the third set against Ellis the other night. That was a bit of a slip up. A nice hitting with Zverev. That 1 love in the third. Yeah, Parry beating Nissimova. Oh, man. All right. De Jong completely fell off at the end of that set, unfortunately. It was a good set, though. It was competitive. Holding serve. In about an hour, winner could win it all. I think Menchik is underrated at this tournament. Yeah. All right, love 15. By the way, chat, we have got like 2 hours, 2.5 hours to the night match. This is the first time we might not have anything to watch until later, which actually is weird because I've been streaming. I feel like I've had like maybe 30 minutes off randomly this week, but it might be the first time I actually have like a couple hours to chill. Pity it's 1, 2 in the morning. Zverev hits a winner, love 30. Can we watch Menchik Rublev? Nah, because if we watch that, we won't be able to watch then Rude and Fonseca is going to be it's going to crash into that. If Rublev Menchik was starting in 30 minutes, we would watch it probably, but it's not. I wish it was. I wish we could watch it, but unless Teichmann Andreeva finishes in the next, like, if it finishes in 30 minutes, maybe. And it was love 40 Zverev to get the break in the third. Yeah, it just sucks that there's such a long break between now and then. And I don't want to do a doubleheader for Fonseca or Rude. I want to do a doubleheader. If Zverev does win this, we might be able to watch Andreeva Teichmann. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of that to fill in the time. All right, 40 love. Blame Hadar. He played 5 sets. He wasn't supposed to. If that wasn't 5 sets, we'd be fine. Drop shot from De Jong. Zverev gets it. De Jong backhand lob. Goes long. Zverev wins the game. All right. Zverev breaks. 2 love in the third. All right. Yep, Rude Fonseca is coming up in 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Oh, God, broke my chair. All right. Zverev. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. All right. 2 love. Are you feeling okay today? Yes. Why? Why wouldn't I be? All right. 2 love. Zverev serves again. Zverev serves again. As a default. Second serve. As a return goes the forehand Zverev. To the backhand of De Jong. Forehand from Zverev. Again to the forehand of De Jong. De Jong in the net. Love 15. Love 15 love, sorry, 15 love. I can read. The way this is going, we probably will watch Andreeva. We'll just have to watch it a little late. Because I don't want to sit around for 2 hours doing nothing. And if there's a match on that we can watch, we might as well watch it. And Zverev just got to finish this match off real quick. Winner from De Jong, 30-15.
I know this is really far-fetched, but Sorana Cirstea winning this slam without dropping a set would be a perfect goodbye.
That would be far-fetched. Thank you for the... And really, that would be great for her. Thank you for the donation. Yes and yes. All right, 40-15. All right, 40-15. As we go backhand. It's a backhand rally, and that goes in the net by De Jong, and it is 3 love Zverev. Somebody tells Zverev to hurry up. He's going way too fast. But not fast enough. Yeah, we'll watch. We might as well watch. If Zverev finishes this match off now, we'll jump over watch Andreeva. Because she's only at 1 anyway. And then that should fill in the 2 hours that we have, hopefully, between matches. All right. WTA Slams and Masters are not that different. I mean, they are different in value. They're worth different amounts. Yeah, Keys won the Australian Open last year. All right. 3 love Zverev. Three love Zverev. All right. De Jong serves a fault. Second serve. As a return from Zverev, goes the backhand of De Jong. Zverev. Backhand again to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev with a... Oh, we can't volley it. Great pass by De Jong. All right. 15 love. Beautiful backhand passing shot winner. $15 love. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the backhand of Zverev. Forehand from De Jong. Into the forehand of Zverev. As De Jong. Forehand again to the forehand of Zverev. De Jong on the stretch as Zverev goes up the line for a winner. 15-0. Yeah, Zverev's putting his foot down now. By the way, chat, we're almost at 500 likes. Appreciate that. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. You might have thought you liked this one, but you might have liked the last match and forgot to like this one. So go check. Scroll down and check if you've liked this stream, because you probably have liked the other two streams, but maybe you're like, yeah, I liked it. Maybe you liked the Svitolina one and you forgot to like this one. This just tells YouTube that people want to watch this, which will help the channel overall. So thank you, everybody who has liked the video already. Like the streams. Do you think a Dar versus Carino match? Did I see it? Yeah, I saw it. I did see it. It was interesting. All right, 30-15. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. Serving the forehand is Zverev. De Jong with a forehand slice. Zverev with a drop shot. Oh, it's in the net. He had the whole court there. 40-15. He would have hit the winner had it made it a little higher over, would have been perfect. All right, so Mirra's already broken. Return. Goes out. And it's 3-1. De Jong on the board. All right. All right. All right, return goes into the front of Zverev. Up the line to the backhand of De Jong. Zverev. Into the backhand again of De Jong. To the backhand of Zverev. Up the line to the front of De Jong. Zverev. Backhand cross court. That's a winner. And it's 15-love. Solid shot. 15-love. Now, Osaka and Sabalenka play tomorrow. Return goes to front of Zverev. De Jong off the tape goes wide. And it's 30-love. Love. All right, first is the fault, second serve. Second serve. The backhand of De Jong. Zverev with a forehand winner. 40-love. Just crushes it. 40-love. All right, nice hitting, Zverev, 4-1 in the third. All right. Andreeva is up 2-1 already. We'll get to her match after this. First major without the big five in play. That's it. What does that mean? Who's the big five? Alcaraz? They're playing Justin Bieber in the stands. Let's go. Sasha showing why he's top 3? Yeah. Yeah, I want to be optimistic about the generation that is the Zverev generation. You know, I want to trust Felix, and I want to trust Ruud, and I want to trust Rublev, and I want to trust Zverev that one of them will win. I want to trust them. I want Tiafoe too, right? Berrettini. I think it would be nice if one of them won, because let's be honest, right? Fonseca, Hadar, Menchik, all these other guys, all these young guys, they're going to get another chance. They're going to get their chance, right? They'll do it again. They'll get there. But it would be nice if one of the original next generation, that's what Zverev was the face of the next gen back in the day. We're like, he is like the next generation, not the new generation. It would be nice if the next generation claimed this title. It kind of is theirs. Like, it should be theirs. They're not given, they're earned, but I don't know. It just feels like one of those guys winning would at least, it would. Then they have three. Team, Medvedev, and whoever wins this. Like, then it's three for the generation of that generation. And then it gives a little bit more legitimacy to that generation that, okay, maybe they were just in an unlucky time. Djokovic, Nadal was still there. Alcaraz, Sinner came along. But then, they took a couple. And we can look at that in history. We can look back at this time and go, yeah, they were really good for their generation, but they were just unlucky because they had to play some guys that were great, like generational guys. If they don't, and one of the young guys come through, it'd be a huge blow to the 90s generation. Like, it would be very harsh to them, because it'd be like, wow, they couldn't even beat the younger guys. Like, it would be kind of shitty, right? It'd be like, it wouldn't help the wouldn't help them at all, right? As a generation. So it'd be nice if one of them won. To kind of like go, maybe if you think that generation are not good, maybe you can just be like, oh, well, they couldn't beat Alcaraz or Sinner, and they couldn't beat Djokovic or Nadal. Not many can. But if they lose this one, one of them don't win this one, then that's not good. As Zverev went for a tweener, but he didn't hit it. He went long by De Jong, 15-30. Look, I love Fonseca and Hadar and all the young guys coming through. They're great. They'll get theirs. They'll get a chance. Like, this is their first chance. They'll get another chance, and they'll probably get a chance with Sinner and Alcaraz in the draw, right? If they're as good as we think they are. These guys that have been around for the last 5-10 years, who grew up with Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, and now have to endure Sinner and Alcaraz. Like, I feel like they're worthy. Like, it's their turn. This is their tournament. And these younger guys are, they've got to get in line and wait, because these guys have been waiting for years. Zverev's been waiting for 10 years for a slam. Ruud's been waiting for at least 5, right? Berrettini, FAA, right? These guys have been waiting since like 2019. So it would be nice. Justice for the 90s gen, yeah. It'd be nice if one of them won, right? Doesn't mean they will. Doesn't mean they will. But I feel like this is their trophy. Zverev is a return winner. And he's up 5-1. Rublev as well, and Tiafoe, and all those guys. All right. Zverev's going to serve the match, and this has been a solid performance. First set was a little shaky, but he held. Did Teichmann break back? Okay, we got to join that match. Andreeva is wobbling, and a lot of top 10 players are lost on the women's side, so we got to watch that one. All right, De Jong hits a winner, love 15. Love 15. As we get a backhand return into the forehand. Zverev forehand now from De Jong into the forehand. Zverev up the line of the backhand. De Jong. Zverev. Drop shot. De Jong gets it. Zverev with the volley up the line. Is too good. Great hands from Sasha. 15-0. 15-0. Is anyone else worried that Sinner are in decline? No. Serve is an ace. 30-15. 30-15. Hey, it's that what's her name? Paris? What's her fucking name? That lady in Paris. That's the lady from Paris. Whatever her name is. She was in Indian Wells. That lady from the actress. Anyway, it's 40-15. She's in Paris. The Paris lady's in Paris. Not Paris Hilton. The other person. All right. She's in a movie about Paris. I don't know. I've never seen it. Do I look like I watch a lot of movies, actually. So, yes. The answer is yes. I do look like I watch a lot of movies. 40-15. I have glasses. First serve's a fault. Oh, Zverev thinks it's in. No, he's retreating. All right. Second serve. All right. Second serve. As with a backhand from Zverev. De Jong with the backhand in there. Zverev wins. Sasha has got himself into another quarterfinal at Roland Garros, and he's going to take on Hadar. All right. Good win from Sasha. And again, he's just getting it done. Just ticking boxes. He only had one stumble against Hallis, but other than that, he's just doing the thing. Zverev is into the quarters. GG's. All right. He's just ticking boxes, chat. He's just ticking the boxes. One match at a time. All right. Now, chat, we're going to keep on watching because we're going to watch, we'll watch Andreeva. She's down 3-2 on first serve. So jump on over and we will be back in about a couple of minutes to watch that one. But good win by Sasha. He gets it done in straight. 7-6, 6-4, 6-1. And he is into the quarterfinals and he's going to play Hadar.